back, and we're not in Utah. We're in Florida, where the temperature is melting. You look up the temperature on the Weather Channel, and it just says melting.
It says melting?
Melting. That's what's up. So, but hey, we're back. Jeannie's not on mute, although it may
I'm
look
just
like
trying
it.
to get my glasses together. All right. So tonight we're gonna have Q&A. Let's stump the chump, Chris. You ask, and we answer.
Why am I the chump?
Well, you want me to? It's not stump the girl chump.
That's not even a thing.
So then that's why it's stump the chump.
Anyways, tonight is Q&A. If you're new here, we are Chris and Jeannie, and we teach you about OWCP, answer your questions. Any problems you're having tonight, you should not still be having tomorrow. If you don't ask your question, that's probably the reason you'll still have that problem tomorrow. So for the next hour, we are here answering anything you've got related to OWCP.
Yes.
And I look forward to your questions.
All right, let's get going. What about OWCP do you guys want questions answered that we have not answered before?
Well, that's impossible because I've answered them all. So back here, you'll see this is all of our locations. We're with Federal Injury Centers, and we're a franchise that is there to put doctors within range of you, so that you don't have to keep going to the urgent care where your nurse practitioner doesn't get a medical doctor's signature, and so your claim gets denied. You don't have to keep going to the ER where your ER doctor won't write a narrative report, and the billing people don't know how to spell OWCP. You don't go to a VA doctor who's world class and is not trained in OWCP. You don't go to an orthopedic surgeon who just wants to do surgery and doesn't do OWCP outside of that. So we are there, or everywhere that we're at, because you need it. And wow, has nobody jumped on yet? All right, well, we're going to stick around. If nobody jumps on, this will be a short night, but hopefully there's somebody out there that needs some help or that sees us live, and they'll come on and get the help. Where are we going to be next?
We are going to be heading to Kentucky at the last week of the month. We are going to be training OWCP, DOL, the coal and mine workers, and yeah.
So Judy Lynn says she can't hear us. I can't believe that because we did 3 tests before.
Judy, can you hear me? Microphone isn't
Test.
working, Chris. Troy.
How about now? Can you hear me now? I bet you can hear me now because I see green lights. How about now, Troy? Can you hear me?
Have we been talking this whole time and no one heard us?
Well, I didn't even know that anybody was on. Can you hear me now? I see green lights, Troy. Green lights. All I see is green lights,
Yes,
like no red lights.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I have a little short in this thing. I'm going to replace it eventually. We were just gone for like nearly a month, and so I didn't have a chance. Judy and Troy, thank you so much.
So let me repeat what I was saying.
Yeah. So, man, the stuff we said was so inspiring. No. It's too bad you didn't hear it.
Chris asked where we're going to be for this month. So we are headed to Kentucky to train OWCP, Department of Labor, coal and mine workers, and a few AFGE people.
Did you say claims examiners?
I said senior claims examiners.
So I'm super excited about that. I'm hoping that I can get 2 or 3 claims examiners to talk to us on the podcast.
Yes.
And if you want any specific questions asked of claims examiners, send us a message in Facebook Messenger so that I can get those sort of logged in. And when I get to where the claims examiners are, I'm going to ask those. One question that I've already been told to ask is it common for a claims examiner to sort of have a vendetta against a patient? I think it's not, but we did have somebody that happened to.
Yeah.
And so the question will be, is that common and what do we do about it? But we're really excited to be able to spend time with claims examiners, and the ones that we're going to talk to, we've met before, and they're awesome, and they love you, and they think your supervisors are idiots.
Yeah, because when Chris told the senior claims examiner, well, we try to send everyone back to work. That was like music to his ears.
Yes.
So, Jeannie's mic is quiet.
Let's put it up to you.
Quiet now?
Nah, it's working. Okay, so tonight is Q&A night. She calls it Stump the Chump. I guess that would be me.
We're stumping the chumper.
It never happens.
Yes,
ever.
it did.
No, that wasn't an OWCP question.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm not required to be an expert in all things, although I'm an expert in most things. Just ask my wife; she'll tell you. That was very quiet. Paul, what's up? Nice to see you here, Paul.
Frank from Branch 41. How are you, Frank?
And we got Kendra and Troy Pearson on. They're in our Kansas City Federal Injury Center's office, Kansas City, Missouri. And if you're in Missouri, that is the only option you have. So I hope you'll give them a call. Go to federalinjurycenters.com and check the locations tab, and you can go down to Missouri. Then Kansas City is the only thing there. If you're in Kansas, guess what? You don't have anybody either. So Kansas City, Missouri is your option. Give them a call. They're fantastic. They get claims accepted. They get people back to work.
Mary said all supervisors has the feeling of wannabe.
Well, they want to be you, so they don't have all the stress of being supervisors. Oh, poor babies. I'm just kidding. It's not that stressful. Just do your job.
Tonight we're talking. It's Q&A. You ask, we answer. We stump the chump.
Not gonna happen.
We're great, Frank, and you.
Yeah, it's good to be home. You know, we were gone in Park City, Utah for almost the entire month of June, and it was really a sort of strategic planning thing for me. For her, she had her class reunion, and so we were there for that. But I needed the time away where I didn't have a UPS man knocking on my door, dogs barking. And by the way, Ellie saves us from every UPS driver and FedEx driver. She saves us from every Amazon driver. Like, we have been marked safe from all the delivery people since we got Ellie. But it really distracts me.
It does. Mary said, pray for me. My second surgery is July 16th.
15th.
Oh, sorry.
Put your glasses back on.
My family in Forest Park.
Hey, what's up? Hey, we are praying for you. I know everything is going to go well. Surgery is scary. I've had 3 knee surgeries. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I'm not scared of surgery. Personally, I love anesthesia. The last time I was under anesthesia, and the nurse didn't like wake me up when I was waking up. The nurse was there, and I said, put me back. That was the first thing I said, put me back, because under anesthesia, I drew a billionaire. And that's a true story. And so when I woke up, I was like, no, put me back. So I look forward to the next time. But I get the fear of it because it is scary. You're in someone else's hand completely.
Right. Exactly.
I do want to be a billionaire in another life. All right. So what questions do we have? Whatever OWCP questions you're having, we should be able to answer those tonight, so you're not having a problem tomorrow. And if your friends aren't on, let them know that we're here, right? Because the number one problem people have is they don't have the help. Nobody knows anything about OWCP. You know, your supervisors are either dumb or they're playing dumb. Your HR injury comp people, whether they know the rules or not, they generally do it wrong. And so, like, you're kind of on an island by yourself. Your union folks do the best you can, or they can. But in some of the unions, they're not even involved in OWCP. So, like, if you're having trouble, this is the place to go. So tell your friends to come on wherever they watch social media, to go to Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini, and bring their questions. And Tim Vandeman is on. So he's in the Maryland, Virginia, DC area. I've heard, and he listed all of his locations, I've heard there are some federal employees in the DC area. Yeah. I've heard that. I heard a rumor once that they had some. If you're there and you get hurt, seriously, there's no reason for your claim to get denied. It's just like, you want your claim denied if you're in Maryland, Virginia, DC, and you don't go to Tim's offices at Federal Injury Centers.
Justin Boatner said, just had an appointment in Forest Park today. Just got home. Look, you made it in time for the show.
Yeah, welcome. And Diane James said, Chris, I love anesthesia too. Yeah. Best part of surgery. You better believe it. Like, when a doctor tells me I need surgery, my first thought is, sweet, anesthesia. Like, the best sleep you ever get is on drugs. I mean, it is. Period. Okay. Forget that I said the drugs thing. All right. So tonight we're stumping the chump. It's not going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. It's not going to happen tonight or tomorrow or anytime in the future. But bring your questions and let's see what you got.
You sounded like one of those, those people in Texas, like they talk. So there's a cow for $400.
They're not. So auctioneers are not just from Texas, but I happen to be. So that makes sense. I happen to be from Texas, but I'm not an auctioneer. All right. Listen, folks, if you don't have questions, then I'll just sit and be a clown for a long time until we turn this thing off. So what do you got? What do you got? That's what Gibbs says. What do you got?
I completely agree. Best sleep ever. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
anesthesia.
I don't want look. Everyone, don't go search out like your nearest drug dealer to get anesthesia or other drugs. I was just kidding, but I'm like, if you're gonna have surgery, there's a silver lining to it, and it's like you get a really good rest when you're there.
Kristen Genie, I have the right to pick my own PT doctors, right?
Yes. So thank you. So here we go. Boom. The first question. I love it. The law says you have the right to initial selection of physicians. So you get to choose your own doc. And interestingly, if your doctor is a chiropractor, like so many federal injury centers practice owners are, you can go there. It's perfectly fine. Chiropractors are allowed to treat in the nature of physical therapy and chiropractic, so you can go to their office for therapy. But our offices and many chiropractor offices have medical doctors now.
Right.
All of ours have MDs, nurse practitioners, and PAs. So don't let your claims examiner or nurse case manager tell you can't be there. You can go anywhere you want, and you can choose any doctor you want.
I'm going to read this real quick before I go to the question that I want to ask. It's from Troy Pearson. We are speaking at the NALC Branch 499 tomorrow night.
Awesome.
If you are a member, make sure you come get some great information. So, those of you that are NALC members in Branch 499, Federal Injury Centers is going to be there to talk to you, say hello, and see if you need any help. So
Yeah, and Troy knows his stuff. He's well trained in OWCP. So if you're in the Kansas City area and you're an ALC, don't skip tomorrow's meeting.
Yeah.
It's my experience. You've seen it too. The vast majority of union members don't show up to meetings. Tomorrow night's meeting is one you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, the question. Can you talk about CA7s?
Yes, ma'am. So Dr. Pearson wants me to talk about CA7s. Makes me think she's probably having some issues in her office and people are getting paid. So here's the way this works. When your claim's accepted, that's number one. Your claim has to be accepted in all things. Like everything I say, your claim must be accepted first.
Okay, they can't hear you. Oh, your mic went out.
Test. Okay, we're back. We're back. I'm gonna replace this. I swear. All right. I'm gonna have to just watch the green light.
I'll look at it.
Okay, so when your claim is accepted, you have the right to get your time paid. It's called leave without pay, LWOP. And so to get paid, you've got to have a CA-17 that took you off of work or restricted your duties. If you don't have a CA-17, you have to go to work. So get that from your supervisor and have your doctor fill it out. And then when you fill out your CA-7s, your claim for compensation, you've got to attach that CA-17 to the CA-7 as documented proof that you had to be off of work. And then your doctor also needs to write what we call a disability narrative. The disability narrative explains exactly why you have to be off work. It's not enough that you have a CA-17 that takes you off. They've got to say the reason you're off work is, okay, and it's a medical justification for being off of work. And then there's a form called a CA-20, okay? It's an attending physician report. And the doctor's got to fill that out too. So you want to attach the CA-20, CA-17, and the disability narrative explaining medically why you have to be off of work. And if you're off of work because you're going to the doctor, get a printout of your appointments and attach that as well. If you e-comp all of that documentation with your CA-7, your odds of not getting paid are near zero.
Brenda, can multiple cases be combined to create one case?
That does happen from time to time. The claims examiners, that's who does it. It's their responsibility. So they can be combined. There are reasons they would be. But claims that won't be combined are like two CA1 claims that happen on totally separate times, different body parts. Those are not going to be combined. But there are some that can be, and they probably should have been combined from the very beginning. But that is the claims examiner's responsibility if it's going to happen.
Mary said the reason I asked because they want me to go to their office, this PT office, and she told them I want to go to my Forest Park office.
Yeah, I mean, you get to choose. I mean, look, here's the sad reality. Most healthcare practitioners are in it for the money, and so they're telling you have to go to their office because they want to make money off of you. That's just the reality. It's how it is. Okay, healthcare is a business too, but our model is a little different. Because we're willing to work for free if we do a bad job. So you know, we just see things a little differently than other doctors do.
Miss Carey, but if you don't go to a doctor of your choice and they don't accept OWCP, do you have to pay out of pocket?
Well, okay, do you have to pay out of pocket? The choice is yours. Are you going to go to this doctor that doesn't accept OWCP and they require you to pay? Because if you're going to do that, then you have to. But if you're going to say, heck no, I'm not going to pay out of pocket and I'm going to go choose another doctor, that's your choice.
Mary, I just found out that we are the one to send the CA-17 to OWCP and the post office. 2 years ago, I was pampered all the papers and was sent by my family in Forest Park. Thanks, Forest Park.
Yeah, I mean, your doctor technically can e-comp everything, but it is ultimately your responsibility to make sure that everyone has your CA-17 because it's your job and your life. So I would definitely, and I like you being pampered, and I'm glad that happened at our office, but I would definitely take charge of that because it's your money.
Miss Carey said, "What are the limits on those papers that you attach to CA-17?"
Okay, so if you're talking about a limitation on the CA7, your claims just got to be accepted. You can go and get paid from day one. I think that's the answer to your question. There's almost no limitations on it. Your claim has to be accepted
Susan, I love this question. Why do so many doctors push against writing the narrative?
because they're lazy,
How do I get through? How do they get through medical school and can't write a simple narrative?
because they cheated off their friends. I don't know, but what I'm just saying, but like, yeah, they don't want to write these narratives because it takes a long time. What they want to do is make money for free, and they don't like having to work for money. Like Dr. Pearson's on here, okay? Like she works, okay? Her and Troy work, and our franchise offices work, but our competitors, and I'm happy our competitors are so lazy because it makes you want to come to us, and then we do a good job, and you're happy.
Pat Hardiman. Yes, you can get a shout out. After 3 years and 2 months and 23 days, my claim has been reopened.
What's up?
Remember
3 years,
yeah.
2 months, and 23 days. Boom. Her claim is open. That's what I'm talking about.
Maria, when your claim gets accepted, how many LWAP days can you get back prior to claim getting accepted?
Yeah. So you just need to start filling out your CA7s immediately, or they need to be filled out already. Turn them in immediately because you can get paid all the way back to day one. Okay. Your time off, your leave without pay, you can get paid back from day one. But I've been hearing lately that they give you like a 1 year uh, timeline to get it all turned in once your claim's accepted. So just like get it done now.
Susan, there's just a certain way that these narratives need to be written. Maybe if you don't know how, the books that Chris has written has the way you should put together a narrative if your doctors can't. But it's not easy. Even our doctors have a hard time writing narratives sometimes.
Yeah, I mean it's actually very difficult. We've got an extensive training module at Federal Injury Centers for how to write narratives, and what makes it really difficult is that every person's injury is different. Nobody has the same injury, right? Like even like dog bites.
Yeah.
There's never been two dog bites that were exactly alike. There's never been two knee blowouts, two herniated discs, two ankles that were exactly alike. Your story is unique, and so these narratives, have to be unique.
Yeah. What else, guys? What other questions? Let's see.
Oh, I know how. They don't know how. That's what I'm talking about, Susan. I like that. They don't. A lot of
Yeah,
doctors
that's what
don't.
I'm saying. I know you knew how because you said you wrote it for them. I'm saying the doctors. Let's see.
Yep. All right. What other questions do you have? If I could like hum or sing really good, I'd do like
No, don't.
the game show. The game show sound. What is it? Jeopardy?
Do,
Final
do,
Jeopardy?
do, 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 do,
Yeah.
do,
Anyways, so she's gonna go ahead and do it
do, do.
because you're not asking questions. Help us out here.
All
You
right.
got to help me out.
Okay. RJ McFarlane. What if you can't find a doctor that doesn't understand your injury?
Yeah, so that's the reason I wrote Volume 4 of Breaking OWCP. It's called The 25 Things You Can Do to Win in OWCP. It was written for those of you that are in parts of the country where there's no Federal Injury Center's office so that you can have a claim accepted as well. The bottom line is you've got to kick your doctor in the butt and make them go. That's what it's got to be. You got to read their narrative reports. You got to tell them what to put in the narrative reports. You're basically writing your narrative yourself and getting the doctor to sign it, right? So what it takes is don't revere your doctor. Don't worship your doctor. Doctors are not gods. I have doctors on here that are, they're our doctors, right? That we love. And they know that I feel this way. They're not gods. If they do a bad job, it's your job to fix it. It's your life. So my recommendation is to take the bull by the horns and don't allow bad work to be done by your doctor. I know, easier said than done, but read my fourth volume. It'll help you for sure.
Alicia Skelton, can you still continue seeing the doctor after you've reached MMI?
Yeah, OWCP allows for lifetime medical. So as long as any treatment you need is medically necessary, they will continue to allow it. Now, they're not going to allow you to just do treatment for nothing. If it's not needed, they're not going to cover that. But what they do is they say anything that's medically necessary, you have the ability to get that covered for the rest of your life.
Susan Stricker. So, went to their second opinion specialist. His report was shocking, citing I had several surgeries I have never had. What the
Oh,
F? There is no medical evidence for things like this, he said, like surgeries.
yeah. So what you want to do is you write your own little paragraph, narrative, report, whatever. Write a document that explains that, and then give it to your doctor and have your doctor medically refute everything that was said by the second opinion doctor. And I'd probably put in there like, what was this doctor looking at? Because he sure as heck wasn't looking at me, talking to me, and probably spent only 5 minutes with me. And I don't know, I wasn't there, but that's what we hear from a lot of people. You've just got to refute it. The way this works is a second opinion doctor's medical evidence is weighed against, and this is good news for you, is weighed against the medical evidence of your physician. It sounds like your physician is going to bury this particular second opinion doctor.
Diane James. Chris, went back to the doctor today expecting to be released. Found out my bladder isn't working correctly. Wants to send me to a urologist. Not covered in my claim. Not sure what to do. Do you have any advice?
So if you've got a problem medically that's not part of your OWCP claim, and it's genuinely not part of it, that's what your health insurance is for. And so you're going to have to use your health insurance, communicate with your union, make sure your supervisor understands this isn't a work related injury, but you have a health condition. Remember, Family Medical Leave Act is there to protect your job
Right.
for like 120 days every year. That should probably cover you. And you've got annual and sick leave. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be your option. And they can give you light duty. See, light duty and limited duty are different. Light duty is for a non-covered work-related injury, or limited duty is for that. Light duty is for anything else. So you could get light duty, family medical leave, sick and annual leave. That's what I would do, and use your health insurance. That's the way that's going to have to go.
Just making sure. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I got green lights.
Justin Boatner. So in my case, I've been released to work. However, since I work at the post office as a carrier, especially because of the weight limit, my office does not have anything for me to do. So I've been out of work since. How or what do I add to my CA7s to this from this point out?
To point this out. So what you want to do is you want to send just write a letter. When I say write a letter, I mean like it could be a paragraph, whatever. That my doctor sent in a CA17 that would allow me to work with restrictions, and my supervisor said they have no work for me, so I have to stay home, and that should be enough to get you paid. It's not your fault they won't let you work. When your doctor says you can do something and they won't let you, then you're essentially going to sit home and get paid. But I suggest that you go and just do everything you can to get back to full duty, on your time during your time off. A lot of people say, well, I'm at home, so I'm going to watch TV and stuff. I think you should try to get better. So take that as an opportunity to ask your doctor, what else can I do to get better? Because they won't let me come to work.
Katina Ross. If my doctor requests desk work for only light duty and the post office doesn't have light duty for me, who is required to pay me for sitting at home, the post office or workers' comp?
Well, it's all the same to you. You don't care. You just want to get paid. You're going to fill out CA7s and turn those in for LWAP, and you're going to get paid.
Pat Hardiman. I was forced to pay back my COP. Do I need to do anything extra other than a CA7 for that to be repaid?
Well, usually when they want you to pay back your COP, they're going to like pirate your sick and annual leave. So Um, yeah, you just need to check on that with your HR folks because normally that's what they want to do. They want to take your sick and annual leave,
I just
which
got that
sucks, and I don't like that for you.
out of
And the other thing is, if let's say your claim is under appeal, like maybe you're under reconsideration, then there's no final adjudication yet. You shouldn't actually have to pay back any COP because your claim's not finally adjudicated. So, if it's been less than 12 months since your last denial, you turn in a reconsideration and then just show proof that my claim is under appeal. And I've never had anybody have to pay that back.
Paula Christina Maria, injured on May 23rd, didn't file a claim, been out of work since, filed a CA2 today, been using my sick leave and annual leave, involves my knee. If my case is approved, do I get my time back, or if I go to LWOP, will I get reimbursed?
You will get once your claim's accepted, you'll get reimbursed for LWOP once your doctor proves that you've got to be off of work. And you can get your time back, but that's not free. Check out the CA7B. It's a worksheet. It's called leave buyback. Unfortunately, to get your time back, you have to pay something. It's not fair, but OWCP's got a lot of things that aren't fair in it.
Justin Boatner, doing exercises, of course, and just waiting for a physical therapist closer to home to continue getting better. That's my next step while figuring out my CA7s.
Yep, I think that's probably right. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so what do I know? But it sounds right.
Susan, and actually, I thought the second opinion appointment went well. His first words were, "Why are you here? You can't work. You're completely disabled." Sounded good to me. Then his report sounded like he met someone else who had surgeries I haven't had. I'm 5 years off duty now, even completed employment rehab. Couldn't find a job that was 2 years ago. I'm getting paid, so I guess I don't care, but it's all craziness.
Well, I'd care enough to at least rebut it. Send a letter in saying that wasn't me. I don't know what he's talking about. In fact, all that stuff you just said should go in the letter.
Kelvin Jones, how are you? How long does it take for a supervisor to fill out a CA1 form for continuation of pay?
So I've never timed it, but if you put a stopwatch on it, I can't imagine it taking more than 5 minutes.
I think to submit it.
Well, to submit it is just click a button. It's on eComp. But supervisors, I try to. I've tried to turn a new leaf and not be so mean to supervisors. Like it's been a long time since we did a woodshed night. But the truth is, look at a CA1. Look at all the forms. Okay, there's no form that's more than like 2 pages long, and most of the 2 page forms you fill out one of them. So how much time does it take to fill out one page? They just do the job. Supervisors just do the job.
Pat Hardiman said, I said that about the reconsideration, even filed a grievance. Union agreed. Ended up, they turned it over to the IRS.
Well, that sucks.
I never heard of that.
I mean, turning anything to the IRS, and if you're an IRS agent, I love you so much. I love you so much. I hope you never get hurt. If you do, we're going to take such good care of you. We love IRS agents.
Tony Ozuna, I just had my appeal denied. My doctor submitted it through a justification identifying the dates that I was on LWOP. OWCP stated I needed to submit documents identifying that I visited my doctor during the LWOP. Because my case was approved for panic disorder, the time I spent LWOP, I did not see my doctor. I have been under his care when this incident happened and still under his care. Again, the narrative was very detailed. I will appeal my case, but I think I will go to ECAP. What do you think? Let me know. Thanks.
So I don't personally like ECAB, but I have personal reasons for that. ECAB's like a legal proceeding. When I was talking to Attorney Eric Blowers about it, he said, really, you go to ECAB when there's like a question of like legal precedent or there's a question of the rules, right? And they were maybe not followed. Most of the time, denials can be handled through, an oral hearing, which I also hate, review of the written record, which I also hate, and reconsiderations, which I love because they give you 12 months to do it, and your doctor can submit new information. Your situation may be one that needs ECAB, but if you're going to do that, you need representation as well. Please don't show up by yourself.
Yeah. Lori Fisher. Hi, Chris and Jeannie.
What's
As you
up?
know, I received a second opinion exam in June because I requested upgrades to my injuries. My second opinion doctor lied throughout his report and he submitted to OWCP. OWCP sent me a letter stating they were closing my case. I'm going to fight back 100%. I called the claims examiner and he said I only have 30 days from the date on the OWCP letter to have them consider my case rebuttal before closing. Claims examiner stated there is no appeal process. Such BS.
It is. What you need to do is take. You said, I didn't say it. You said it. That there are a lot of lies. I think what you should do is your letter to the claims examiner should have bullet points. Every single statement the doctor made that's not true, just word for word, copy the statement into your document, and next to it, write false, right, in bold letters, and maybe highlight in yellow, false, because you should not be. I don't want to say can't because you definitely can be. But you should not be penalized because things that aren't true.
Dennis Bailey, I love your Cleveland satellite office. They are working with me to get my schedule award for two injuries I had in the past. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so good.
they're doing such a great job. I was talking to Dr. O'Reilly the other day, and he is so fired up to help everyone. It's very refreshing to have doctors like we have that are just so happy to help.
Marilyn Aggie. I have an approved case for my shoulder injury last year. My doctor approved me to work up to 4 hours a day with no lifting over 5 pounds for that arm. My question is when I take vacation leave, my manager takes 8 hours instead of four. How many hours should be used for leave? Eight or four?
Well, if you're vacation, yeah, it's probably 8 because you're taking the whole day of vacation, and so that's a whole day of leave.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like 4 hours of OWCP and 4 hours of vacation because technically it's a whole day of vacation. That's why they're doing that. That sounds right to me.
Unless somebody on here knows more than what we know.
I'm sure it's right.
You know.
Nobody knows more than me. Look, we're playing Stump the Chump,
I was
okay?
gonna make that emoji face that goes
We're playing Stump the Chump. I got to fight back a little bit.
Paula Christina Marie. I didn't file a claim foolishly. Didn't realize how bad this is. May need surgery according to the MRI.
It's not too late, probably. You got 3 years.
If I'm planning on retiring, should I go into LWAP status and remain there until all is done and then retire? Also, to buy back my leave, do I pay full amount? First of all, like Chris said, Paula, you still have time. You just said you got injured on 5/23 or something like that. You have 3 years to file a claim. You can
Yep.
still file for this, and all of this stuff that you're asking for, you're gonna get. And then when you get, if it was a CA1 injury on that MRI, you just give them a CA16, so you don't get paid charge anything out of pocket. Alicia Skelton, OWCP said they want me to get a second opinion. Can I choose a doctor,
No.
and can it be another Federal Injury Center's doctor?
Oh man, I wish, but no. Unfortunately, the second
not.
opinion system is not chosen by anybody but the claims examiner. They choose that.
Those of you that are in the Greenville, South Carolina office, we have Wendy, or I think
Wendy.
it's Wendy from the Greenville, South Carolina office that have gotten how many claims accepted so far?
I,
I think
it's a lot.
it's over 200
yeah,
now.
it's so many. I was just looking at them all because we've had over 6,200 claims approved. Can we just stop down for a second?
Okay.
I should have started with that. I just got this data 2 days ago or yesterday. Federal Injury Center, since the day we started, has gotten 6,282 claims approved. Does that sound good or good?
That's
6,282 claims. How about that?
Yep, that's awesome. Like awesome sauce.
I hope you're next. Whoever's next, I hope you're next.
Susan, one more thing. Years ago, a nurse case manager said, I got all your cases combined. I have three. I just noticed they now have only one body part added from two other claims and closed the other claims. Do you think it'll be a big deal to get them to fix it, or just a matter of me bringing it to their attention?
It shouldn't be a big deal, but you know what? There's a lot of stuff in this system that shouldn't be a big deal that ends up being. You'll probably be all right.
Susan said, shouldn't they notify you if they're going to close your case?
Well, they do notify. Okay, they don't always notify you if they're going to close your case, but they should. You ask, should they? Yeah, of course. Why should you be blindsided?
We need you in San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
Oh, we know we were just there too.
Yeah, we're working on it. We are working on lots of areas in California.
Johnetta Thomas, how long does it take to get a schedule award and your case being in 2022.
Well, you have, as long as your claim's approved, you have till the end of your life to get a schedule award. There's no deadline on it. Just stay alive. Okay. Last of the Mohicans, just stay alive. That's what you have to do to get a schedule award. And in order to qualify, your doctor's got to say you're at maximum medical improvement. That is a medical determination. Nobody but your medical doctor can do that. So talk to your MD about it.
Luana, my rehab person said if I don't get a job somewhere else by the end of 3 months, that OWCP will no longer have to pay me for my claim. I had a knee replacement under OWCP in 2022 and can't do my route.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is going to be a cutoff point where they say, look, you got to find other work. They won't, but I say they won't pay you forever to be on OWCP, but I know people that have been paid for over a decade.
Yeah, like that one guy since 1989, he's still getting therapy and he's still getting money.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what your individual situation is. It's unsensible to me that some people can have what seems like a lifetime on the rolls and others don't. You're going to have to talk with your claims examiner and find out specifically, like, what would you have to do for this not to happen to you?
Maria Portal said for rural carrier, they don't allow part days, so they take the full 8 hours.
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't realize that was a rule carrier, but yeah,
No,
that's
I
that's
think she's
correct.
just saying that.
Yeah, that's correct, 100%.
Justin said, I'm now one of those after my initial denial. Forest Park got me approved through reconsideration.
How about that? We got a lot of shout outs for
Sweet.
Forest Park tonight.
Yeah.
Good. Dr. Cooper in the Atlanta area, right next to the airport, does a really great job.
Any other questions?
All right.
Going once.
Going twice. Going as many times as it takes. What do you got?
All right. So, just in case you guys did not hear what I said, we are actually going to be training OWCP, DOL, and the coal and mine workers, MSHA.
In Lexington, Kentucky.
Kentucky. Chris is training one day. Eric Blowers is training on another day.
And I'm doing the bourbon tour on another day.
Yeah. And then after that, the following week, we are going to be in Las Vegas for almost 12 days. We have the Bureau of Prison Convention, and then AFGE's National Convention is 2 days later. So we're going to go say hi to like lots and lots of friends.
So this is not just sucking up. I really love our BOP friends. They're so much fun. Okay. Like, they volunteer to get tased. Okay. Like, that's all you got. That's all you got to know. They volunteer to get tased. That's crazy. And I've seen a guy do it who's a monster. And I saw a little, like, small, petite,
she was smaller than me,
woman who did this. And she was angry that they weren't doing tasing. That she couldn't be tased.
She couldn't be tased.
She was angry.
Their new taser.
She was angry that she couldn't be tased. Like, who out there would love to be tased? It doesn't make sense to me. But that's what's so fun about hanging out with BOP. So we're going to be in Las Vegas, but for that many days, like, everyone that knows me knows I love Las Vegas. But that's a lot of days in Las Vegas.
The thing is, because that starts, and then again, AFGE National Convention starts. So we're just going to stop and say hi to our friends.
We got some questions coming up. All right, more questions.
Susan, I did vocational rehab in 2022 and still don't have a job. And I'm on periodic roll, but my limitations, no one would hire me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough situation. I don't like it, and I'm not trying to, like, avoid answering, but it's hard for me to answer that. I mean, you've got options. You could. I don't even want to say these things. You could do disability. Disability is not a payday for you, but it would allow you to get a second job outside of the federal government, where you could, as a result, end up making like 120% of your other income. So, I mean, that part sounds great. 120 is a lot more than 100%. You could go get a non-federal job without disability that, then you're going to be off OWCP anyways. Or ask your doctor what you need to do to just get better so you can go finish doing your federal job. And it's tough. And I know that last one probably sounds like maybe pie in the sky because I don't fully know your situation, but this isn't always fair.
All right. Tanya Young, is there a certain form or narrative paper your doctor needs to fill out when reached MMI to get a schedule award hearing?
They have to do a CA. No, they have to do a 6th edition impairment rating by the AMA Guide to Impairment 6th edition. and they've got to write an impairment rating report based on that guide. So it's a narrative report.
I thought they were doing two. Fifth and sixth.
Okay, I stand corrected. They have to do a fifth and a sixth and decide which one is greater and send that report in. Either way, they have to send a narrative report. That's a new rule. That's exactly right.
Melanie, can you have shoulder surgery and have your regular insurance pay for it, then claim work comp for it?
Yeah, people do it all the time. I don't like it, but yes, people do that all the time. Now, your insurance carrier is going to say, but this is a work injury. We shouldn't have to pay for it. But ultimately, what will happen when your claim gets accepted is there's a thing called subrogation, and OWCP and say Blue Cross will communicate, and they'll iron things out. You won't have to do that. So you can do it, yeah.
Do you have to get an FMLA approval once you are out on LWOP?
No. Family Medical Leave Act is a law that's there so you can take care of yourself or a loved one. You don't have to do anything but fill out FMLA paperwork.
Jolene, we have a carrier that was shot in the arm with a pellet gun yesterday while delivering mail. He's entitled to 45 days of COP, correct?
You are entitled to up to 45 calendar days of COP if you report a CA1 claim that happened in a single shift within 30 days of the injury. It's very important. If you rub some dirt on it and hope it gets better and 31 days passes, you're no longer eligible for COP. So report the injury immediately. But then you're only going to get COP if you're out of work. I've never been shot by a pellet. I'm from the country. I've got tons of friends that have. They all went to work, but they were idiots. Also, my high school friends. If you're listening, I'm sorry that I just said that to you. So I don't know if this person even needs to be out of work. But the key is eligibility for up to 45 calendar days of COP is available for people that report their CA1 claim within 30 days.
Susan, I'm 39 years in. I'm just gonna ride periodic roles as long as I can. When I can't, I'll retire.
Ride it like a wave, and I'm pulling for you, Susan.
Melba Mitchell, my orthopedic foot doctor is sending me somewhere else to be evaluated for my mom for my MMI rating.
Yeah.
Is that how that's supposed to work?
Well, it does work that way when the doctor doesn't know how to do the ratings. They'll often refer someone out to someone who does know how to do the ratings. That's not uncommon at all. Yeah, she meant MMI. Yeah, we knew. Carly's on.
She's tagging everybody.
I love that about Carly. You know what? We really missed you when we were in California.
We so did.
The low light of my trip was not being able to see you there.
Yeah, when he found out that you weren't coming, he was like, wait, what?
And every time I see you on Facebook, it's just like it lights up my phone. Like the phone just gets brighter. It's so nice to see you. So wish we would have seen you in person.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we will be wrapping this thing up in about 15 minutes. Bring whatever questions you've got between now and then. We're happy to answer. If no other questions come, of course, we're happy to let you go and get back to your evening. But we are Chris and Gini. We're Wednesday night OWCP chats. If you are new here, we do this quite often. We used to do it every single week, but we travel so much, it's hard to do it every week now. But we're always posting good content, good helpful information for you on this page and all of our other social media pages. So come check these out. We are also the heads of Federal Injury Centers. Federal Injury Centers is a franchise of doctors that are there because you need them. We have 60 some odd offices in 27 states. We've got like 8 or 10 coming on soon.
Yeah, we'll be announcing them soon.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you all the names right now of the cities, but I can't really think of them all. But
number one, we can't remember. And number two, we want to make sure that they're ready to go.
But we've got some coming in the West Coast, in the central part of the country. We've got some coming on the eastern part of the country. We've got some more in Florida coming. We've got a new guy, Dr. Steflik, that just came on in Daytona. And he's looking at opening up in Jacksonville already. So we're really excited about that.
How close are you to Connecticut? Joe is working on that.
We sure are. We're working on it. Unfortunately, for now, you'll have to find one of our other Northeastern offices and just drive there. If you don't have to do that, but Angela says she loves us. We love you too, Angela. Thank you for being here. That's awesome.
Do you have a regular doctor do your yearly paperwork, or do you have to have an OWCP approved doctor?
You don't need the doctor to be approved, but the doctor won't get paid unless they are. That shouldn't matter too much to you, but
my phone froze.
Okay, so
Carly, we have a rural carrier who probably needs a CA2 for a back injury, and her doctor's taking her off restrictions even though she's experiencing a ton of pain. What should she do?
can you read that one more time, please?
We have a rural carrier who probably needs a CA2 for a back injury, and her doctor's taking her off restrictions even though she's experiencing a ton of pain. What should we do?
Well, the doctor's taking her off restrictions. She's got to go back to the doctor and say, "Hey, this is not working for me." You know, when I first learned how to do OWCP, I was in Texas with the most, I think, prolific OWCP doctor in the history of the world. And he would tell all of his patients, "This is your CA17. If you get to work and I'm wrong and this hurts, come back and tell me right away because I don't want you to get hurt." So go back and tell your doctor because it's chances are your doctor doesn't want you to get hurt.
Melba Mitchell, my knee doctor is refusing to write a narrative to get my claim expanded. Can he do that?
Yeah, doctors can refuse to write narratives, but you can choose to go to another doctor.
On top of that, he's a specialist. They don't like writing
Yeah, I don't know any
narratives.
specialists that want to write the narratives. I don't know any. Not I don't know a single specialist that wants to write a narrative. Never have. Fernando, how about the Caribbean? I don't know what that's for, but I'm in. Say when.
If you're talking about having a clinic in the Caribbean, the only place we'd be able to put one is Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Guam. That's it.
But Fernando, seriously, like if you're trying to plan a trip, let's go.
Um, Carly said also she is without insurance.
Got to get that claim accepted.
Yeah.
Robert, yo, 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 what's up? Everyone say hi to Robert Delude. Robert does all the videos that you see on Wednesday Night Chats and all the Facebook pages that have all the cool graphics, and some of them make me look pretty silly. That's Robert. What's up, Robert?
The Facebook reel.
Give Robert some love.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we are gonna wrap up for tonight. Next Wednesday we will not be available. We are traveling to Nashville to be with our coaching group and our coaching friends because this is where we get all of our awesome marketing tactics and fun stuff to do through going to
And just generally help us do a better job in our offices for
Yeah.
you. So we do this 3 or 4 times a year, so this is one of them.
yeah. So
All right. Well, look, it was fun. It was great being back. We love being able to talk to you. We've been doing this since 2016, so it's not our first day. But hey, we'd like you to come back next time. Tell all your friends, Tell your coworkers too. Hopefully, you have some friends who are coworkers. Let them know that we're here and that we're here to help, and we're answering all of your OWCP questions in real time, so you don't have those questions again tomorrow.
yeah, and we will be back on the 24th. So we won't be next week on the 17th, but we will be back on the 24th.
But I'm sure that we'll be posting some fun stuff, and come check it out. So, Maria, thank you so much for saying you appreciate us. We appreciate you always being here. You are a long timer. You've been here forever.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you. Thank you so much. And all the rest of you as well. It's a pleasure helping you. And tell your friends, we're going to be back in 2 weeks, and we'd love to have a big audience.
Yes. Thank you guys.
All right,
See you
everyone,
in
have a
2
good night.
weeks.
Bye-bye.